frog walks, road rescues, and even more of a deeper dive into the lives of the wood frogs as we get ready to explore more of their explosive chaos around breeding season. Get ready for Frog Week 2023 Episode 2. Episode 2 picks up right where we left off. From mid-March, now we're moving into late March to the beginning of April. The wood frogs had a significantly harder time than anybody else during the breeding season for Frog Week. That is because the lows were significantly colder than what they've been the last 5 years. Even the spring flowers took longer to develop and lasted longer than they normally would have because of how much colder it was than it's been over the last couple years. I'm always trying to do something new for Frog Week. I'm always trying to be more innovative. One of the things I've always had the hope of doing is using trail cameras to catch wood frogs, American toads, and other critters coming to the vernal pools and the ponds. And it's safe to say, in the beginning of Frog Week, when I tried this strategy out, I was more likely to get just about everything else except for wood frogs. However, my luck would change. Even though the trail camera got knocked over, it still picked up wood frog audio. Listen to this. I was also very fortunate to pick up this wood frog, and I actually didn't notice him until I started editing this video. It ended up being a little bit blurry, but you could see his throat moving. And then even in this upcoming clip, you're going to have the chance to watch the wood frog blink. So we did actually catch a male wood frog with the trail camera, but check this out, guys, it's really cool. While things were starting to become more active, it was finally time to go back to location 2 and check out the wood frogs and the spotted salamanders. And we can't forget the spring peepers, of course. Well, that's cold. So 44 outside and 51 in the water. That would explain a lot why they're calling. Well, first let me say it's March 28th. I'm just trying to get a good, well, March 27th, I guess, realistically. It's not the 28th just yet. He found that funny. You can see my temperature probe in the water. You can see it there. I have it next to the egg clutches. So that way we get a chance to see, you know, what's the temperature. The temperature gun read about 38 degrees. I'm trying to see what my temperature reads from the water itself. Do they equal out? Do they agree, or does one say one is colder than the other? I tend to lean towards what this says because it's in the water and it takes it a long time. Oh, 54.5. So it's dropping, I'd say, kind of rapidly. There's about 50 wood frogs calling, and there are 2 breeding pairs. So even though the falling action is still happening, the wood frogs are still very fortunate because the females are still coming to this vernal pool. It appears they've stopped going to the one just probably about 200 to 250 yards away. They seem to just be in this one. There's a bird. So a bird has built a nest in these cattails. Just using my phone to get a different perspective here. You guys can see the couple, the 2 wood frogs there. She's gonna lay her eggs over here. I think that's fascinating that she chooses to lay over here as opposed to the other location in the same vernal pool where it's pretty equal in terms of who laid eggs where. There's only 2 locations where they've laid their eggs in this vernal pool that are visible. I started taking field notes, and March 27th goes like this for this specific pool. I said all of the eggs are still there and there has been no predation. The wood frogs have grabbed on one large bullfrog and they appear to be drowning it. They are mistaking it to be a female wood frog. There are 2 breeding pairs in the vernal pool tonight, with roughly around 50 male wood frogs still calling in late March. The temperature gun reads 38, the water the ink bird is 49 and dropping. .3. So that's what we started at here. Oh, that's going down because it's out of the water. So about 47 degrees. How's it going, guys? As you can hear behind me, there is no stopping these spring peepers, and there's dozens of wood frogs out here. This is one of my favorite locations to come to. So thankful I got the chance to share it with Drew and Ian this year, and I'm super excited with all the activity happening. This place never ceases to amaze me. We haven't yet seen the American toads come out, but when they do, we'll be here. We'll be making sure that we watch out for them as well. I'm super thankful and blessed to have this opportunity to be out here to care for them and to see how they're doing in the wild and to continue to monitor them. Some of the things I'm doing, I'm trying to get water temperature to understand what their threshold is, and I'm also trying to document just how many of these frogs are we seeing. What's up, guys? I'm out here and I have, that depends on how you look at it, some good news or some bad news. I'm going to be releasing the wood frog, Ananias, the one that was named. And the reason why I'm going to release him is because he's actually doing better than whenever we had first found him. So I have him here and just trying to be a little careful because there's also a predator. There's a predator out here. I think it's a fox. So really not a good time, I guess. But it's the only time before anything would happen to him. He has just such a drive right now to want to breed, and I respect that. I want to make sure that he has the opportunity. And there's still wood frogs calling tonight. He's in good shape, so we're gonna release him and try and check out some more wood frogs and report what's been going on at this location. So let's get to it. There he goes. So I'm a licensed educator in these animals. You guys know that I'm just passionate about them. I bleed the blood. My blood just drips with the passion and oozes with the passion and inspiration of taking care of these animals. And while I am a licensed educator and I'm allowed to own certain species, I don't just keep them because I want to keep them or for the sake of having a pet. And with Ananias's case, he was a rare occasion where we thought he had a problem, but he actually didn't have a problem, and he just needed a little bit of time in captivity to rest, and he seemed like he picked up. He was unhappy, I could tell, with keeping wood frogs and owning them currently and having 2 of them before. I've had the chance to learn their habits and behavior in captivity, and he was not interested in being a captive wood frog. So luckily, it hasn't, I think it's maybe been around 2 weeks since he's been out here. Less than 2 weeks, maybe closer to 10 days or so. But Ananias goes home to the same vernal pool that we got him from. So he's in here somewhere. It is kind of sad, you know, because I love the guy. I loved learning about him in captivity and seeing him. But I love even more the fact that he has a chance, hopefully, to still mate. He has a chance, hopefully, to bring more genes into this population that he's not missing. and I'm just super excited for him. It's not about keeping them as pets, it's about the conservation. This is the first frog week where you guys got the chance to see me bring one home, and that's never been the case before, but at some point there will be wounded and sick animals, and we will take them to licensed wildlife rehabilitators, and if we could take them back out to the wild like we did with Ananias, that's the goal. If they're not able to go back, or for some unusual circumstances they have to remain in care, you know, if I have the availability in the room, which I do, I have availability for an American toad and a wood frog for this year, we'll see what happens. If she jumps in, and there's no getting her back. So let's try this. Yeah, she's got eggs too. Oh, I see an egg. Oh, come here, girl. Got her. It's a wood frog with eggs. So, like an annual thing, we got her out of the well. Too deep, probably like maybe 5 feet, but it goes way below that if you get down into the water. But there's no way she would have gotten out. So I'm very thankful we got her out of the water. Look how beautiful she is. She's very slow because it's super cold down there. It's even colder than it is tonight with the air temperature. It's a good shot of you. I'm just gonna set her off here. I don't see any wood frogs in this pond. It's weird to say pond when you think of a wood frog, but just want to set her here. I can see that she has what looks to be duckweed on her. She would have only gotten it at the pond. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful wood frog. Seth named her Daphne. You could just imagine being a 2 or 3 inch frog and falling into that well. Just absolutely no way you're getting out of that. So, just navigating my way around here. There's a handful of things you can do down here at this location, but the main thing is I come to the well and I just come to check out some of the locations closer to the road.
Those are beautiful.
You ever seen a spotted salamander? Seth, you're gonna finally be in Frog Week. Wow, are these guys quick? It must be warmer water down here. And that's a beautiful shot of one. Every little bit helps. Oh, there is a frog. I can see its eyes over there. See the eye shine? See my headlight? See there's a little sparkle?
Oh my god, yeah, I see it, yeah.
So I found what looks to be a very gravid female spotted salamander. It's a warm night, about 54 degrees. I don't think she wants to really stick around. Can't really blame her. Beautiful spotted salamander. I'm putting her in a spot here away from water because there's really no water, but where she's headed there is. So I'm gonna let her do the rest of the work. I got her on the same side of the road that she was headed. Whoa there. This guy went for a little car ride because he was in the middle of the street and there was nowhere really good to take him to. So I had to do a U-turn just to bring him back to a vernal pool. Now, of course, this is not the vernal pool he's going to breed, or this actually could be a female as well, looks gravid, but not the vernal pool. However, this will take you to a vernal pool, but a beautiful salamander nonetheless. Specimen number 2 that was saved tonight. So good luck to you. All right, just saved yet another spotted salamander. Oh, there goes a wood frog in there, that's cool. This guy is from a little bit down the road. I just want to make sure that he gets to safety. There you go. There you go, buddy. There you go. These are all spotted salamanders. I was getting concerned, and I was beginning to get concerned that possibly they were not doing well. I'm watching a spring peeper hop by as I'm filming these guys. Oh, there's another one. He just came. That's awesome. He came off of the hillside. So we're finally starting to get some activity. I'll show this guy kind of, look how he just moves his way through the mud. So he's going right through the mud pile. But you've got this small congress of spotted salamanders beginning to form. That's great to see. We're gonna set her off real quick. Probably the most beautiful image I've gotten of a wood frog. PA Woods and Forests owns the right to this conservation project, Frog Week, and now that they do, we can combine a lot of the projects we were doing with the nonprofit and showcase them in Frog Week, like the frog walks, for example. And while I don't condone giving out the location of where some of these animals live, because there's poachers that are very close to my area in other areas of Pennsylvania that will take these animals and exploit them and use them in the pet trade or feed to their animals, I do say this. All of the frog walks were on private property, and the state police patrol these locations. So if anybody's thinking about going out and poaching one of these frogs or toads, they're going to have to answer to a lot of local law enforcement. But anyway, getting back to the frog walks, there's something that we've started up over the last year, taking the public out to see where these animals live and giving them a perspective of the challenges and also the diversity that exists in these different populations. Special thanks to the Somerset County Conservancy for hosting this frog walk. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you for giving me the platform and the location to teach people about frogs. I'm truly grateful. Thanks again, guys. Special thank you to Josh's Frogs for sponsoring all of the Frog Weeks over the last 5 years. I couldn't have done it without you guys, and giving me an even bigger platform and allowing me to share this message with all of your fans and followers means even more. I'm a loyal customer. I can't thank you guys enough, and thank you so much for sponsoring Frog Week once again. Thanks again, Josh's Frogs. Some of the main points to take home from this episode: we were able to catch a wood frog on a trail camera, we took people on a frog walk and we were able to teach them about frogs and toads, we did road rescues to save spotted salamanders and wood frogs, we went out and we monitored the population of wood frogs, and we released a healthy Ananias back to the wild. I would say we accomplished a lot with this episode, and there's so much more of Frog Week to go. I mean, this is only the beginning. There's literally a sleet and rain and snowstorm happening as you're watching me look for frogs during this frog walk. There's so much more action, so much more to go, but thank you guys for constantly watching Frog Week and continuing this conservation message. I really am grateful to all of the followers, all of the subscribers, and everybody for keeping this conservation project alive. Thank you guys so much.
It's sleet.
Next time on Frog Week 2023.